Hey y'all, Natalie here for a Cherry on Top's August blog hop, and today we are focused on hitting the books. So some people are creating layouts about books and some people are creating layouts about back to school, and I have decided to use the Bro & Co collection to create a layout about my son reading. I love this collection. It's new in the store and it's in stock. Simple stories, and it was designed by Tracy Reed, and it is fabulous. It's kind of geared towards teenage boys, but it can be used. I mean, my kid is 7 and it can be used. A lot of the pieces will be used for him anyway. I love it. The colors are kind of like the primary colors, but muted or like more autumnal. I really like that. So what I'm doing here is I cut this background, this border, and that is the cut apart sheet, and it was really hard for me to get that because those cut aparts are super clever and fun. I actually am gonna just order another one because I have to use all of the 3x4 cards on the other side. But I just love that plaid, and so I wanted that to be my border. So I cut this blue book cut file. That's from Paige Evans' free Facebook group. And it was a bookshelf, and I just isolated the single shelf. So now I am mixing some sprays on my gessoed white paper, and I'm just gonna use my brush and kind of spread it around, guide it a little bit, but I do want it to be kind of an organic shape. And what I'm doing is I'm picking 3 of the colors from that plaid paper and just kind of making a splotchy background. I don't really want them to blend at all, so you'll see me kind of keeping them separate. And so there's the maroon color, and next I'm going to do like the navy blue color, and this one does not require mixing because it's already the perfect shade. And I'm letting it pool. I want the different shades of the color on the background. And yeah, this was super fun to make. Just kind of playing around, messing around. It's not going to be perfect, but that's okay. I love how it turns out. So anyway, today is the blog hop, and I hope that you're enjoying it. You can hop to all of the blogs. There's only 5, and you have a chance to win $10 credit to the store, so that's awesome. And the design team has all the kinds of really great inspiration for you. Whether you have back to school photos to scrap, or if you want some book photos, or kind of a lot of options here. So I hope we've inspired you to do such a thing. And now we're going with like the turquoise color. There's like this fun teal green turquoise color that's in the collection. So as you can see, the other 2 splotches of color are pretty much dry because, like I said, I didn't really want them to blend together. So there we are working with that one, and it's kind of like making a cross. So like the top and bottom come down, and then I'm going to side as well. And then last is this mustard color, which I love, and that's the color you saw me earlier put down the word booked. That's the color of the large part of my title. I just cut out those letters with some big letter dies for Momenta. They're probably like maybe 1.5 inches. They're pretty large, but they're super skinny, and I really love using those a lot. So my whole title is going to be My Afternoon is All Booked. And I'm scrapping this photo of my son, who he got into a habit of like asking to go outside on the front swing and just sit there and read his book. And I loved it. It really reminded me of what I did when I was young. I would go read on this giant rock at our old house. So I kind of journaled about that. And now I'm mixing more of the maroon color to do splatter because I love splatter. And because the sprays were kind of a translucent, so adding splatter just adds another level of depth. So I do a couple of rounds of splatter, and I am trying to keep them kind of on their own color block, even though, you know, they might mix a little bit, and that's fine. But I try to keep most of the yellow splatters near the yellow color, red near the red. You know, you get the idea, right? So, and a lot of that is going to be covered up with the cut file and the photo. There was actually, I think, one part that I didn't love, but that's okay because it was definitely covered up by the photo. So, splattering is so satisfying. I just love getting messy. You can see by my hands, but actually I was fighting with a printer before I made this video, and printer ink, and I'm just gonna have to get me a new photo printer. So that's a fun purchase that's gonna be coming up. But that's okay. It's tax-free weekend this weekend, right? So there we have it. Please ignore my dog that's barking. And isn't that the cutest cut file? So there is the dry background. And let's see, what do? I add on the border, and I decide to stitch around. So I stitch around the outside of the border, and then I also stitch around the inside of the border. And I use like a charcoal gray thread for that. Is that what we're about to do? Yeah, that's what we're about to do. You can stitch it down without gluing, but I do like to use my tape just so that when I'm stitching it doesn't shift and kind of get me trouble. So there you can see the final with the stitching. And now I'm going to add back my bookshelf, and I need to back those books, right? So I grabbed the collection pack kit, and I'm like going through to pick out the papers, and then I'm like, wait, they're the tiniest little bits of paper. Why don't I use this front introduction sheets? So that's what I did. So I cut out a few of the patterns from that, and they are a different texture. It's like a shiny texture rather than the matte of the normal paper, but it doesn't matter. You can't really tell. And like I said, the pattern was small, and it was perfect for backing all those little books differently. So that middle section there is going to be covered up by the photo, so I didn't bother backing all of that. And then I grabbed this wood grain paper from my stash just to do the shelf part, so it looks like a real bookshelf. I was super excited with that, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. Love it. So there, we're almost done. We're on the home stretch here. Let's see, what are we doing next? Adding a title. Oh, yeah. So I pulled out the ephemera pack, and I definitely had to use that piece because it says "Cool Story, Bro," because he's reading a book. And then I'm going to use a bunch of small alphos to say "My afternoon is all," and then the big letters, like I already talked about, that I cut out that say "booked." So we adhered this down. And oh wait, we got to go in for more splatters. There weren't enough splatters. Let's add more. I knew I didn't clean those up for a reason. Never know when you're not done with the splatters. So now we're ready. I'm not going to make you watch me glue down all of that, but I do use my Nuvo adhesive because I love that glue. It holds super well. And I just kind of staggered the letters. I let them overlap a little bit to fit well, and then just to kind of give it interest. Because they're so skinny, they look really good when you overlap them. And then those, I think, are an Illustrated Faith sticker from a really long time ago. They don't stick very well, definitely, which I always glue everything down anyway because like the gesso that I use, it doesn't stick. I think I use the clear gesso from Thin-A-Bear. And now all we have left to do is embellish. So I decide I want to put, oh wait, no, we have to do journaling as well, right? So I did use a Sharpie in a light blue color. I didn't want it to stand out like super too much. So I chose a light blue color instead of like a navy. And I did my journaling down there. And now I'm going to use that sticker. Oh no, that's a die cut border, and kind of tuck the Cool Story Bro in. So it's kind of like a pre-title. It's not a subtitle, it's like a pre-title. Cool Story Bro, my afternoon is all booked. And then just picked some stars out of the sticker sheet and the ephemera pack, and a thumbs up, and more stars and all the colors. Oh, and a cool banner, because how cool is reading? It's super cool, right? Make sure you do our blog hawk. I'm going to link down below. I'll also have my affiliate link for a cherry on top if you need to pick up some Bro & Co, because you probably should, because it's super good collection. Even if you don't have dudes, like it's got some really snarky like food things and activity things and video game things. So super fun collection to use. Here are the final shots. Thanks for watching, and hop on over to the blog hop. Bye, y'all.